Hey, Startist. Today we're diving into the wonderful and sometimes overwhelming world of online courses available for creative entrepreneurs. Whether you're just starting out or looking to level up, we've got some amazing recommendations for you.
Yeah, we've taken a lot of courses over the years. Some were great, some not so much.
And some we finished and some not so much.
So we're here to help you avoid the endless YouTube rabbit holes and instead focus on courses and memberships that are actually worth your time and money.
We're talking about annual memberships that give you access to multiple classes, individual artist subscriptions and Patreons, and then diving into comprehensive programs. And we have an awesome deal for you later in this episode, so be sure to listen through to the end.
All right, Laura, let's dive in.
Hi, this is Laura Lee Griffin.
And this is Nikki May with the Startist Society, inspiring you to stop getting in your own way and start building an art biz and life that you love.
We are artists who believe strongly in the power of community, accountability, following your intuition, taking small, actionable steps, and breaking down the barriers of fear and procrastination that keep you stuck.
Follow along with us on our creative business journey as we encourage you on yours.
Okay, Nikki, let's start with the platforms that offer unlimited access to multiple courses. Now, these are great for beginners or anyone who likes to explore a variety of creative topics from different points of view.
First up is Skillshare. You can find everything from illustration to productivity tips to creative business basics. It's affordable and you can binge watch short courses whenever you want. I've taken so many classes on Skillshare.
Me too. But the downside to that one is that the quality of the courses can vary because lots of different people can be teachers on it. And it's easy to also fall into the trap of watching courses without actually taking any action on them. Anyone else guilty of that? Raise your hand.
100%. I actually first became aware of Bonnie Christine through Skillshare when I wanted to learn how to create repeat pattern designs in Illustrator. After learning how to make them the old-fashioned way in the early 90s by cutting and taping hand-drawn patterns on paper.
In the 90s, Nikki, were you trying to make a pattern for curtains in your cave?
No, Laura, I was making patterns for your sheets in your crib.
Okay, I'm a little older than that, Nikki, so.
Well, you'll always be a lot younger than I am.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate our friendship so much. Well, let's not forget, Nikki, when we talk about Skillshare, that your favorite podcast co-host has 2 classes there.
Do I have a favorite podcast co-host? Oh, wait, it's you, Laura.
But personally, I've loved Nikki taking courses on Skillshare from people like Onmar Wynn, who does these really amazing watercolor and mixed media classes. She does amazing work with like dip pens on top of color that she's done in her sketchbooks and stuff. It's really fun.
Nice.
And then I also really like classes by Mel Armstrong and Liz Kohler-Brown, who teach really great courses on pattern design, which we have actually interviewed both of those individuals on this podcast. And also Dylan M., who does really fun drawing and painting courses there.
Yeah, and Kat Koch also has some really fun iPad and watercolor courses. And Shannon McNabb, who, in addition to making courses on how to create patterns, has some great business organization courses like how to use Airtable to manage your portfolio. And she's got a lot of great trade show info on Skillshare too.
Yeah, that's really helpful for the business side to get insight from somebody who has been there and done that, right?
And we've also interviewed her.
And of course, Airtable is just one of the 15 project management systems that you've used, Nikki, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So another online course platform that offers many different courses is Domestika. And that is a great option because it's more curated and the production quality of the courses is really fantastic. If you want to dive into a specific skill like hand embroidery or detailed illustration techniques, it's a fantastic platform. And there are also courses on things like Instagram marketing and Facebook ads and sort of the business side of things in art.
Right.
And you can buy individual classes with lifetime access, or you can purchase an annual membership, which I kind of like. I've actually bought a ton of Domestika lifetime access courses that I can go back to again and again. I don't actually have a membership there. But one of the things to note is that the Domestika courses are largely in Spanish with subtitles, certainly not all of them. But I think the platform was initially sort of a response to something like a Skillshare to offer courses that are largely for Spanish speakers. So just keep that in mind. If you prefer courses in English and you're going to buy something from Domestika, just double check that on the course of which language it's going to be in.
That's good to know. All right, Laura. So now let's talk about individual artist memberships, Patreons, and YouTube channels. These are perfect for learning techniques that specific artists that you like use, or to get inspired, but they're usually not as in-depth as the longer courses.
Yeah, now some of my favorites that I've taken, Nikki, or memberships that I'm a part of, Anna Bucchiarelli and Anna Mason are two different Annas that are both really into detailed watercolor techniques. Now, I've learned so much from both of them, and the actual paintings that I've done from those, I have hanging on the wall in my house.
Nice.
So I think they've been really fun. Also, I really like the membership Fresh Paint by Ali Kay for acrylic painting. So I've been in that just for a couple of years, kind of wrapping up my membership there. But it has transformed the way that I create underpaintings to my work and to paint a little bit more loosely. And I've taken a lot of those techniques, Nikki, and wrapped them into the new collection that I'm working on right now.
Awesome.
Which has been really fun. I also think Flora Bowley has a great community called Free Flow. She's offered multiple different types of memberships that I've taken. And she is a really great intuitive painter. So for me, I'm always trying to get a little more loose. Even though I like detailed watercolor, I like detailed styles, I also really like painting loose and intuitively. She's amazing at that. And she really inspires you to tap into your most creative self. And we had her actually on episode number 34. So she's another person that we've interviewed in the past.
Maybe I should consider taking one with her because nothing is tighter than my drawings.
And we talked about YouTube kind of being that endless rabbit hole that you can get into. But
right.
There are some artists that do it really well. One of those is Jenna Rainey, and she's got some really great watercolor resources and courses out there, especially for beginners. And that's the quality of the video is amazing. Her husband actually does all of the videos for her. And I found that those are really great.
Another artist who does really great YouTube videos, whose husband also does all the recording and editing for her, is Laura Horn.
Oh, right.
She's got some really beautiful videos of her doing watercolor and mixed media, especially in sketchbooks.
So, Nikki, does that need to be a requirement for us that we should be looking for husbands right now that are videographers? Because I feel like that's going to help us.
I'm not looking for a third husband. Moving on. The issue, though, with these smaller subscriptions, it can be really easy to just mimic someone else's style. So don't do that.
Yeah.
Use what you learn as a foundation to develop your own unique voice.
Yeah, I like to use these memberships to focus on learning new techniques, Nikki, so I can apply those to my own painting style. But it is easy to fall into that if you're following what someone is doing stroke by stroke, for example, or even if it's on an iPad and you're following exactly what they're doing. It's helpful to learn the technique, but not focus so much on imitating their style, because otherwise how do you gain your own unique style, right?
Right. All right, Laura, let's get into the meaty stuff that we really love, these longer, comprehensive courses.
Yeah, so why invest in a more comprehensive course? For us, it comes down to really three things. It's the depth of the content, it's the community, and it's accountability.
And even though these courses take a lot longer to complete, they actually can save you time and frustration in piecing together information from many various sources.
Yeah, trying to piece it all together would take forever and be both a time and an energy suck.
Exactly. These courses go way beyond basic techniques. They help you master a specific skill or build an entire creative business. Plus, being part of a community of learners that's at the same stage as you, that is huge.
Now, many of these programs include accountability groups and or live Q&A calls, which really help you stay on track and finish the course. So let's talk about a few that we've personally taken and loved, Nikki.
Absolutely. Let's get into it.
Okay, so there are 2 business-focused courses I've taken from Marie Forleo called B School and Copy Cure. And they basically focus on knowing your audience, creating your product and how to market it to your people. So it's not specifically for creatives, but it does work for creatives as well. And I love that these courses cater to people wherever they're at on their business journey. So they're really perfect for those that are just getting started. I also mentioned in our first episode this year that I'm in the process of learning how to professionally produce music. So it doesn't sound that I'm just tinkering around in my living room with my piano and my microphone, which let's admit I am. But I was able to find someone online who teaches comprehensive production courses for people just like me. So it's called Produce Like a Boss with Chris Bradley, and it's taking me through all the basics of using a music software program, or what they call a DAW. And the one I'm using is called Logic Pro on my Mac. So maybe, Nikki, I will be the next Nora Jones, or maybe Natalie Merchant. Or let's see, they're kind of a little old. So maybe should I say Chappell Roan?
Laura, now you're the one who's sounding a bit old. But hurry up and get famous so I can ride on your coattails.
I'm working on it.
Then on the more fine art and business side, there's the Mastery Program with Milan Art, which you can learn more about in the interview we did with Ellie Milan. This is a 12-month program that's open for enrollment at the beginning of each month, and it covers everything from drawing and painting in oil and acrylic, discovering your unique artistic style, and launching and marketing a thriving art business.
And though Nikki and I haven't personally taken the Mastery program, this program is really equivalent to going to an actual art school for way less cost. Then there's a course called Leverage Your Art by Stacy Bloomfield. And I actually took this the first year that it was offered, and I found it one of the best value courses I've ever taken.
Yeah, I've taken this one too, and this course is perfect for artists looking to diversify their income streams. Think licensing, wholesale, print on demand, and a whole lot more. Stacy also covers building your brand, sharing your work, and pricing your art.
And what I loved the most was the live calls and the Q&A sessions. They were seriously awesome. What I love about Stacy is that she is completely open about how she runs her business, what suppliers she uses, and she'll work to answer all the questions sent her way. So when so many people want to keep those things kind of to themselves and not reveal their hard-earned knowledge, they kind of consider them trade secrets or something.
Right.
Stacy genuinely cares about helping you succeed, and she opens up all that information to her students, which I think is fabulous.
And as a side note, I'm super envious because she just bought an old church in the small town that she lives in, and I have always wanted to buy an old church building.
It looks so cool. The windows are awesome. It has tin ceilings. I'm so excited to see what she does with it.
I know. I'm so excited and so jealous.
Yes. Maybe she'll have an event there and we can go, Nikki, at some point in the future.
That would be awesome. So, Laura, didn't you also take a course from Jenna Rainey?
I did. I've taken a course called The Art Within from her, it's sort of split into 2 pieces. So one piece is focused on the art school side. So teaching you all of the basics of being able to draw anything, drawing with perspective, color theory, those types of things. And the second half of the course is all around finding your own artistic style, which is pretty cool.
That sounds awesome. And you are not supposed to be making me want to sign up for even more classes, Laura.
I can't help it. All right. So now the gold standard for surface pattern design courses is the 12-week immersion program by Bonnie Christine, which is where Nikki and I actually met in one of her accountability groups.
This course is packed with value. Bonnie walks you through everything from gathering inspiration, Adobe Illustrator basics, to advanced surface pattern design. building collections, licensing your work, and so much more.
Mhm.
You can start out not having ever even opened Illustrator and end up creating gorgeous repeat pattern designs and start working on licensing right away.
And there's also incredible bonuses in the course, like modules on branding and marketing and money. Plus, our support team is amazing. You'll never feel stuck because there's always someone there to help answer your questions. And it could be any question. It could be like, I am on this screen and I don't have the menu drop down that you have, or like, I have a line in my pattern. I can't figure out how I got it. And people will step you through that.
Yeah, their support is amazing. So, Laura, what was the biggest thing you got from immersion when you took it?
Okay. Unlike you, Nikki, I had just about zero knowledge of Illustrator. So I used it for some very small projects like, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So I had no knowledge of how to create patterns at all. And so for me, that part was a game changer because Bonnie explains things super clear, from the basic setup of all of your critical tools and menus to creating your first motifs and developing both basic and more advanced repeating patterns. And I actually walked away with some really cool mini pattern collections, as well as what I call placements, right? So that are just motifs that you could use on like greeting cards. And I actually printed off a whole bunch of greeting cards to sell that I had made during the course. So I have to say I felt pretty proud of what I could produce at the end of the course, having started at pretty much no knowledge whatsoever.
That's awesome.
Yes. And then I also made friends with the recolor tool in Illustrator, and it is so super fun because then you can turn your pattern into like 50 different looking patterns. So what about you, Nikki? What did you enjoy about the course?
Well, as a graphic designer, I was already pretty experienced with Illustrator. I use it almost every day, but I had never created repeat patterns in it. Like I said earlier, when I was studying fibers in grad school 87 years ago, I learned how to design repeat patterns by drawing on paper, cutting it into squares, and taping the squares together in different ways to fill in the pattern. I had never done it on the computer, so after learning the very basics from Bonnie on Skillshare, I ran to sign up for immersion, and I learned so much more about different types of repeats you can do, layering images and textures in repeat, and like you said, the recolor tool, which I didn't even know existed. Also about setting up different workspaces for different types of work. That was a game changer for me. So I can have one workspace for surface pattern design, one for web design work, one for print work. Oh, and keyboard shortcuts, Laura.
Ooh, yeah.
Bonnie is the queen of keyboard shortcuts, and she even provides a PDF and a printed card with super helpful keyboard shortcuts. I also hadn't realized all that goes into creating collections, so she has an entire module on collections that was hugely helpful for me.
Okay, and I'm a geek about keyboard shortcuts. Just going back to that for a second.
And what aren't you a geek about?
I'm a geek about everything, but I'm like, so I work in Excel all day long. We've established that I'm a geek that way. And I can't tell you how awesome it is to use the keyboard shortcuts instead of using your mouse. So people who watch me in Excel are like, oh my God, you go so fast. But it's awesome because why wouldn't you if you have them, right?
Oh, yeah.
So learning how to do that for your artwork is a game changer.
Speeds things up tremendously.
It does. All right. I think the one thing I remember about when we first took the course, which was like, 4 years ago, Nikki?
That was 2020.
2020. Oh my gosh, the year of the coronavirus. It didn't really have a ton of info in the course at that time on creative entrepreneurship or sort of the business side of the industry. But Nikki, I know you retook the course last year and there's a lot more of that now, right?
Oh yeah, Laura. I went back and compared the module lists from 2020 to 2024, and there are about 3 times as many lessons in both the creative entrepreneurship and making income from your art modules than the first time that we took it. And there were some great extra bonuses and guest instructors this time around. I studied fiber arts for 2 years in grad school, and I have to say that immersion does so much more to prepare you for an actual career.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that's something that's so lacking for people who do actually invest in expensive art or design school, right? You graduate and then you have no idea how to actually turn that skill set you learn into an actual career. So Bonnie has some really great personal experience in this area, and she's been a successful fabric designer for like a decade.
Yeah, for sure. So if all this has piqued your interest, Bonnie's offering a free mini course starting February 10th. And we're talking 2025 if you're listening in the future.
Mm-hmm.
If you enjoy the process and decide the investment is right for you, you'll have the option to sign up for the full immersion course. You can sign up for the course through our affiliate link at startistsociety.com/immersion. And if you end up taking the full course, we've pulled together a few bonuses from Startist Society and both of us individually.
Well, first off, who doesn't love a little free swag? So if you sign up through our affiliate link, you'll get your own Startist Society water bottle and notebook, a value of $45.
And if you're interested in taking Laura's Skillshare classes, she will provide you with free coupon codes to take both of her Copic Essentials and Mindful Mandalas and Procreate classes, which is a $99 value.
And if you need advice getting started on your first website or auditing your current one, and who doesn't need that advice, Nikki will give you a free 30-minute website consultation valued at $150.
So if you sign up for immersion using our affiliate link, we're talking nearly $300 of bonuses, Laura.
Yeah, so basically you can go today to startistsociety.com/immersion and sign up for the free mini course through our link. So no strings attached. The mini course is called Your Pattern Design Playbook, 7 Industry Secrets to Accelerate Your Success in Surface Pattern Design. Now, it's a mini course that starts February 10th and goes through February 19th that helps you learn all about what pattern design is, the opportunities in the industry, and you'll even get 4 separate freebies. So a surface design starter guide, a daily action tracker, a map to success, and a revenue calculator worksheet.
There's even some live Q&A sessions and giveaways for some of the people who work through the free course.
Dang, that's pretty awesome for a free course, Nikki. Kind of a no-brainer.
For sure. And at the end of the free mini course, you'll have a plan to follow that will help you figure out how to achieve your goal of becoming a surface pattern designer. And maybe I'll actually follow a plan this time around.
I know, Nikki, you're really great at making plans and then forgetting they exist. Maybe this time you'll hang on to it.
Anything's possible, I suppose.
Hey, Nikki, what if someone's listening to this podcast after the mini course has ended and they're interested in the course?
So they can still go to startistsociety.com/immersion. And if they use our affiliate link there to sign up for the full immersion course anytime before enrollment closes on February 25th, they will get all our juicy bonuses.
Are they juicy, Nikki?
Well, they can add some juice with the bourbon in our water bottle.
Nice.
And just as a disclaimer, the water bottle does not come pre-filled with bourbon.
All right, Nikki. So we've talked about the platforms like Skillshare, individual artist platforms, these big, all-encompassing courses, which we love.
Mm-hmm.
But what is one of the best things, Nikki, about these comprehensive courses? I think it's the follow-up support that you get. So, for example, Flourish, which also happens to be my word of the year, Nikki, from our first episode, that is the name of Bonnie Christine's membership. And it's a great way to keep learning after immersion. I've actually been a part of Flourish from its start before it was even called Flourish. I think it was like going home to roost or something.
Right.
And it's a great place to keep the ball rolling, to meet fellow artists, and really to stay inspired.
Because after these comprehensive courses, you learn so much, you can kind of be a little overwhelmed about how to keep going. So these courses really help with that. I'm also a part of Stacy Bloomfield's Creative Powerhouse Society, and it's been just a really great way to stay connected and motivated.
So if you've been thinking about investing in your creative career, we hope this episode has given you some clarity on where to start and the courses that we think are a great value for both your money and your time.
Head to startistsociety.com/immersion to sign up for the free mini course and to learn more.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.